Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you everyone for coming along and supporting me in this journey. It's been really fun the last couple of years learning Bernas Estocadas. So hopefully I do it justice today in the Baston syllabus. I'd like to start off by acknowledging the Awabakal people, the traditional custodians of the land that we are on here. To start off with, I'd like to say that Bernas has an amazing system and it is built with very cool pedagogies in mind. And today I'm going to demonstrate his system through one of those pedagogies, the ways of his teaching. His Bernas Estocadas comes from the Negros region, and it is influenced by multiple different people along his journey in martial arts. It started off with his grandfather playing dog sing games with him, which are like hand boxing or like tagging kind of stuff, and then stick sparring. And it was his first experience of seeing the olisi, the long stick methods, through a style called wiru, which is where you learn by doing and by watching and through play. It then was later influenced by his uncle, including baston play, where he was further exploring the stick methods, and was introduced to things such as stick combinations like the 2-3 and the oitsu. Then became instructed into Navales with Grandmaster Hortensio Navales, and became comrades with Grandmaster Romeo Pastrano, where he was influenced by the structure and the numbering system, which you see in the Abecedario section of Bernas Estocadas. Cool. So we're going to start off with the Pagsalondon, the fundamentals. To begin with, we go saludo, which is our salute. So we start relaxed, the hand comes over the heart, the feet together, and we bow, maintaining eye contact before we relax. I'll show a side on. As we do so, we also call saludo. Saludo. From there, we look at how we hold the stick, the pangayat, which is 3 fingers from the bottom, and then you grip with the bottom 3 fingers, with these maintaining a loose grip, which allows later on for disarms and gives you great speed and control with the stick. From there, we go to preparar, which is our ready stance. This is how we might start the fight, or we start our forms, aka wise and partes later on, that I'll show you. In this, it is a back stance, both legs are bent, hands are up ready, and our hand is in central position in the middle. We also have other positions to start. We have garaje, which is where the stick is relaxed on the shoulder, and it can be in abierta, the open side, or cerrada. It can also be in the positions high, middle, or low, and likewise on cerrada, high, middle, or low. And we can also have these in kaya, the open position, or kulub, the closed position, or prone and supine if you like. So we have kaya high, kulub high, kaya abierta mid, kulub abierta mid, and kaya low, or kulub low. And same thing on the other side. From here, we look at our pigar, our pushing with the hand. So, for example, from our prepara, we come up and we push out with the arm. We make sure that the elbow is still bent so as not to jam the our elbow in pushing. We also have tuklod, which is where we follow the person with our press so that they can't bring their arm back out. We also have the nahangwaya, which is the crocodile mouth, and that snaps over the opponent's hand or wrist when we're doing our disarms later on in the ofensa de panza. It also gives us great control of our opponent's weapon hand, which allows us further attacks. From here, we then start to look at the principles of Bernas Estocadas. This is a piece that I have added through my experience of Estocadas. It's how I conceptualize how Bernas teaches us. So we have certain principles like accuracy, speed, and power, and these build up through all the basics. So first you train accuracy. Can you do it in the perfect form? Can you do it with speed in the perfect form? And then can you do it with power? And then you can add all the 3 together, accuracy, speed, and power. Make things really fast. Again, as I demo things later on, I will try to also include those principles. When we do our defenses, we have a thing called our contra cagada. This is called meeting the force or meeting the stick. It's when they attack you, we're attacking their force back. so that it's not only a block or a defense, it's also taking advantage of the situation to take the impetus, give the control to you. We also use lots of efficiency of movement and countering. So all of the footwork and all of the striking develops great efficiency and movement. You see this, especially when we're doing some of the defenses, that it has what might seem like extra movements initially in the basics, but leads later on into other extra strikes and extra defenses that are possible within these combinations. And lastly, within the system, we use speed and busyness to develop skill embodiment. So if you can do extra strikes with speed, you then also embody things greatly. You can see I'm very good with sentences when I'm under pressure. We'll see how we go. All right, so we're going to start off with the footwork into our bicidario. So footwork is greatly important because, of course, it lets us move around. It gives us our power as well. So for this, we're going to use our forward stance to start off with, which is, I've got the name written up. Yeah, I skipped a slide. All right, so we've got hile likod, which is our back stance. So back stance is weight towards the back leg. Both legs are still bent. Of course, straightening a leg in any martial art can be quite dangerous. So weight towards the back. We're going to do this in our standard template to start off with. I'm going to do this facing you, and then I can do some of the others facing away. So from here, I go backwards, go forward, back, forward, back, coming forward, and going back. And that is hile likod. Next is hile tubang, which is our forward stance. So this is weight forwards. It's a nice one to use for asking for a strike, but it also works really well for our defensa. So we have forward stance, forward, forward, and we go forward twice, and back twice. Back to Pirapara. Next we have baka, which is our straddle stance, also known as horse stance. So horse stance is weight in the middle. So we have, again, forward and back, forward twice, and back twice. Our next ones are the punko, which is sit. Our sitting stance is also like a cat stance. So there's weight mostly on one leg, and the other leg is quite light. This allows us to lunge in or push back at will. So our punko in the standard template goes backwards first, and we go weight on the left, and then we come forward to weight on the right. Then we go forward, weight on the right. When we go backwards, weight on the left. Back to Pepara. Lastly, we have ikus, which is our crossing stance. I'm going to do this one side on to you because it looks cooler side on. So from our Pepara, we're going to step back with our right leg in front. Weight is centered between the 2 feet. And then I go forward, same thing. We always keep the weapon leg forward for this one. And I go off camera. And I come back. Back to Pepara. So that is our panin dog, our footwork in the basic template. I'll now show you the footwork in the palakat, which is used for developing the pares strikes, the pairs strikes. It's also used if students are having trouble with their strikes to come back to so that they can develop the footwork with better fluidity. You'll see in this as well that multiple stances start to get to combine, so you can use them to move around in different ways. So from Pepara, our 1 and 2 stances, we come up with the piga, we weapon transfer into cat stance or punko, and then we go forward, and we come back. We do the same thing for 3 and 4, except these are now low. So again, piga, we come low, we weapon transfer, and going forwards, and coming backwards. Our 5 and 6 is through our baka or forward stance, depending on where your weight is. So we come here, we go 5, cat stance, 6, cat stance, 5, cat stance, 6, same thing forward, same thing backward. This is where you can skip the cat stance on the way back for that one, or you can do it, works both ways. For our next one, we have 7 and 8. For this one, we're going to go backwards into our cat stance and then lunge forward. So 7 is back here, 8 is forward, and then moving forward, we bring the back leg up, lunge forward, front leg back, stay forward, and back to prepara. Our 9 and 10, we start to go to the side. We use our heel to pivot on. We bring the weapon transfer across, and we're going to pass the hand as we go into cat stance. And then same thing on the other side. So heel turn, and then forward, aiming at a 45-degree angle, and backwards. And lastly, 11 and 12, we have our back stance and then a forward stance. So 11 is leaning back, forward, leaning forward. 11, 12, coming forward, we go cross and lunge. Coming back, we cross again and lunge. And that is our palakat. So the next one, this is where I'm going to start to combine the abecedario and the pangaway together. So we're going to showcase the connection between the basics and the more advanced moves today. This is different to how Robert and Chris did their Manunudlo test, just for something of a bit different, and also so you can see how amazingly interconnected the Estocadas system is. So I'm going to start with the principle of tagisa, which is the single strike, and then move up to tagtatlo, and further on, the multiple strikes. The becedario is the basic way of teaching the moving and the forms. So you'll see the dagwai and the parties that I will do. And then the pangaway is the combination application, the combat application and development of instinct and reactions, which is structured towards developing freedom of movement in both pensa to pensa and your carenza. So beginning with tagisa, I'm going to show you guys the different strikes singularly. I'm going to get one of my manunudlos here up as well, so I can aim at them, because that makes it more fun and it gives it a better depth of perception. So to start off with, we're going to do our number 1 strike. Our number 1 is a tapas, or a tree felling strike. So what it looks like in isolation, rempepara, we come up into our cat stance or a punko and pica, and then we hit high on the temple and it comes into chamber in the middle. So again, here, number 1. If I was to do it fast, with power, and if I was to do it against an opponent, my lovely stationary lapel here. So to show the aiming for it, I come up, I pigar, and it goes to the temple and cuts through. Yeah, one more, temple, cut through. Thank you. So now our number 2 is also a tapas, a tree felling strike. It's the same thing, but reverse. So from here, we're coming up to our cat stance, and we're gonna go number 2 and pigar. So for this one, the pigar is after the strike. So 2, pigar. And again, we're aiming at the temple. The lovely Manunudlo Chris. So we go 2, cut through. And one more, 2. Our next strike is the hug bus, and then on number 3, it is a grass cutting strike. That's what hug bus means. So we're going to come up and pigar. For this one, the hand can pass over our head, which you'll see in our pensa to pensa. We come out through a low stance and we cut up into the knee before closing on the side. So we go pigar, 3. Nice, one more. And the lovely Chris is going to get hit in the knees. So right here, cuts up onto the knee and closes. You can also aim on the other side. So it's a nice low strike cut in the grass. Number 4, basically the same thing, but on the other side. So we come from our cat stance, we step low, the strike cuts up on the other side, and then we piga forward. So here, and again, so here, back up on the knee, back up on the knee. Our number 5 is a totsada, or a thrust. So from our prepara position, we chamber in kulub instead of gaya, and we're going to pass as we thrust into the chest. When we do this in the air, we then follow through and close. But of course, if you do this into an opponent, you need to have a way to withdraw your weapon, so you can pull back or you can turn and cut. So number 5, and in, and fluidly. And one more. And on Chris. He volunteered, I swear. So here, I'm going to pass him and thrust into the chest. We're going to show on the other side. Yeah. Number 6, same, but other side of the chest. So from here, we're going to close into our kaya sarada position, and then we're going to step out, thrust the chest. And again, while we're practicing in the air, we can clear through. If it's stuck in an opponent, you've got to withdraw back. So we go here, here. You also pass with the hand over the top. On my opponent here. So here. This hand is for if you're throwing a strike. I think you'll see this later in the pensa defensa, where we do our passing and our countering. So it starts teaching it in the basics very early on. Thank you, Chris. Our number 7 is dug, or to drop straight down. So from our prepara, we bring the arm up and we hit down as we protect our head. So what it looks like, I'll show it side on. This one you can also do advancing. So this is retreating, but you can also go advancing. Same thing with all the strikes, they have both advancing and retreating footwork. On our partner, this one's a very nice one, it hits straight down on the top of the head. If you happen to be slightly further away, you can also go for the toe. Our number 8 is another totsada, another thrust. For this one, it comes from the hip and thrusts up into just past the belly button. So from prepara. And again, you see the hand pass come up. So here, all the way through. Our number 9 is a waslik, which cuts to the neck. Waslik means to hit to the back. In this case, we're going to stop it on the opponent, but of course, this, if you're using a sword, could cut all the way through. So our 9 steps out on the side, like our footwork before. We pass the hand, and then we cut into the neck. This also puts us offline to the opponent. So again, here, you'll see I withdraw the stick, ready for the pass, hit to the neck. One more time. And on my opponent. So we go to the side of him, pass, hit the neck. Show the other side. So offline, chop. Our 10 is a labo, also known as a slash. And again, it also goes to the neck on the abierta side this time. So for this one, this has a pass at the front before chopping to the neck. You could also think of this as payong block on the way in. So it goes here, hit to the neck. And same on Chris. Here, so I offline, chop to the neck. Offline, chop to the neck. And our 11 is a witik, and it's an elastical strike, which means it bounces. This one comes up into the groin, so we pass and hit upwards. And I'll show you side on. And I'll show you with Chris. So it comes in, it goes upwards. I won't do that one too quick. He might hit me later. And our lucky last one is a totsada, another thrust, and this one goes to the eyes. So we come back and thrust up high. So, and same side on. And lucky last one. So here, pass, up to the eye. Of course, with these, you can always vary the height. So this could also work into the chest, like a 6. But to make variation, it goes up high. So that is our 12 strikes broken down singularly. I'd like to point out at this point that very cleverly it has multiple crosses in it, like most FMA arts. But what I love about this one is it mixes what types of strikes you have in them. So the first 4 are all our diagonals, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you get this X, and then we have 5, 6, 7, 8, which creates a plus using our thrusts on the sides, our hit straight down, and a thrust in the center. And then you have 9, 10, 11, 12, which also create a plus, but using now our depundo, or stopping strikes for 9 and 10, a watique for 11, and a thrust for 12. So within the 12, you have thrusts on all 4 angles. So you have the high, side, side, and low. You have the slashes on all 4 angles. And you have the depundo strikes on all 4 angles, or the straight strikes. So 7, 10, 9, and 11. So I would like to now show our single blocks in broken down, and then I'll show you how they go with a partner. So to block our number 1, which was our high line strike, we now meet it with the same angle, but we step in on the other side, and we hit depundo. Depundo is like a stopping strike. So instead of cutting through, this one has power to stop their hit coming in. So 1 and 2 are both high strikes coming at our temple. So we hit nice and high, and our nahanguaya is ready to grab the hand. Our set number 2 comes from the other side. Again, nice and high, and nahanguaya on this side, this side. So we have high inside and high outside depundo. Next we have our 3, which is a low inside depundo. So this one, we go down and we're ready to grab the hand here. Yes, no, that's fine. Yep, and number 4, we're gonna go low outside depundo. And again, it matches the same angle as their 4 with the stopping power. You create that stopping power by gripping the stick at the last moment as well. Our number 5 is a peon. This is where you start to see what looks like extra movements, but come in later as just beautiful efficiencies. So our number 5 does a circle before we come into the peon, ready with our nahanguaya. This circle is also like a number 1 block. So if you're late, you could do the number 1. If you're early, you could hit them and then get the peon in. Our number 6 is a depundo on the middle height towards the outside. So again, like 2, but lower. Our 7 is a waslik hitting to the back, which flicks. So that one knocks the straight strike aside. You're also offline to protect our body. That can also be done stepping on the inside if you're early. Our number 8 is a waslik but low, just like 4, except now the stick flicks up. I'll show you that one to the side. And again, this one could also be done retreating as well as advancing. Our number 9 is our outside peon, and again, it could do a little circle, which could be a hit. And for this, we can strike the weapon, which decelerates it, or we can strike the arm. Our number 10, we have depundo on the middle, on the inside. So this is where we block the horizontal strike coming into our neck. This is ready to grab the hand. It is not necessarily a push on your own stick. I know that some other arts use that. But for this, it's like you're hitting number 1, and then you've got the nahanguaya again. We then have a number 11, which is the low outside depundo. So it comes forward and blocks it as it comes up. And our number 12 is our high outside waslik. So again, flicking, and because it's coming for our eyes, it's up nice and high. Cool. So I will now show these with a partner feeding the 12 strikes. Manunudlo Chris is ready with his baston. And then after I turn that, we'll show a little bit of imawakon, which is all sorts of fun. So Chris is going to feed 4 number ones for me. I'm going to show you the number 1 blocks. Then go feed number 2. Nice. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. And 12. Hopefully we moved in okay angles for you guys to see a bit of that. He's gonna come back. Thought he was getting away. We'll just do this for the first 4 so that we don't burn up all our time. But one of the teaching methods is called imawakon, which is my turn, your turn. And this develops your instinct and like being able to think while you do the drill. It tells you if you're getting it right. So what's going to happen is it's going to be my turn, his turn. So he's going to strike number 1, I block, and then I strike number 1, he blocks. And then same thing with number 2. Yeah, we're good at that. I think that shows the principle. We can show you more later if we have time. Cool. So that was our tagisa concept. So now we're going to move to the tagdua, which is where I'm going to show you the pares, which is the fundamental piece of the abecedario, which helps you build up to larger combinations and putting strikes together. So our pares is our pairs. So from pepara, we're going to do 1 and 2 of the opensa. So we start with the piga, we hit high 1, high 2, and again, and then we go forward, and we come back, as our standard template is. Our next one is 3 and 4. So we come out, cut low for 3, 4, 4, and then we're gonna go for speed and power. 5 and 6 is through our forward stance to cat stance, and then coming forward and back. 7 and 8, so back and then forward. Our 9 and 10 come side to side, our chops to the neck, then going forwards and back. Our 11 and 12, cut back first, and then coming forward through cross stance and back. So that is our pares or pensa. And I'm going to show you the pares di pensa. So from pepara, we have blocks 1 and 2. So again, blocking high. This time we're on our triangle footwork. And then going forward, coming back. Our blocks 3 and 4 with a low. Going forward. Coming back. Our 5 and 6. Sorry, I went to do the opensa. 5 and 6 to pansa. So peong and the pundo. Going forward and coming back. Our 7 and 8. So we go 7, 8. These ones stay on the same side. Going forwards, backwards. And 9 and 10. So our peon and another tango. Going forwards, coming backwards. So from here, we're going to look at our pasanod tagdua, which is where we start to combine them. Huh?
11 and 12.
Oh, did I forget 11, 12? They're going to laugh now because I always make fun of them for forgetting numbers or getting them wrong. All right, sorry, 11 and 12. So 11, 12. And going forwards and coming back. All right. So pasanod tagdua is where we do our strikes and defenses, but consecutive. We're just going to do strikes, yes? I think yes. All right. So now I'm going to start with 1 and 2 again. So 1, 2, and then we come back to prepara. For this one, we're not using the standard template. We're just using our normal side-to-side footwork. So now the next one is 2 and 3. So 2, 3, 2, 3, 3 and 4. 4 and 5. You can see how some of these change the timing now of your strikes as well. 5 and 6. 6 and 7. 7 and 8. 8 and 9. 9 and 10. 10 and 11. 11 and 12. So that is our pasanod tagdua, our consecutive striking. So I'm going to move on to one of the dagwais now, which is also a form. Our first dagwai is the dagwai L because it makes a straight line forward and backwards. I'm going to do it from back here, so I've got lots of space. Yeah. So from here, we go dagwai L, saludo, prepara. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now I get to turn. Back to prepara. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is our dagwai L. I'll move a bit closer. Sorry. We're going to do it depensa too. So, dagwai L depensa looks fairly similar, but now it's all the blocks. So, 1, dagwai L, saludo, prepara. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now we turn this way. Prepara. Same thing going back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That is our dagwai L. Moving forward and back with pensa to pensa. These dagwais start out quite simple and then build to greater and greater complexity, which you'll see as I go along. So the next dagwai I'll show you before moving to level 2 or pensa to pensa is the dagwai cross or X. This one starts to deal with the concept of multiple opponents and changing direction in your footwork. So dagwai plus or cross or pensa from prepara. We look to the side. 1, behind, 2, 3, 4, 5, 9, 10, 11, 12. Same thing, but with depensa. I say same thing, it's a cross, but it looks different. So, Dagwai plus with the depensa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Prepara. So we're now going to show the level 2 of pensa de pensa. So this is where we have the block and a single counter. So you're seeing these groups of 2 start to come up. Up you come, Chris. That was your cue.
Did you realize this was streaming?
I didn't either. So, big one. And 2. Three. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. 10. 11. And 12. So that was our level 2 or pensa de pensa. So the next stage is our tug-tutlo stage. And I'm going to say and beyond at this point. So it's going from tug-tutlo, which means 3 strikes. And there's going to be a few extras that I'll throw in there as part of this section. Sorry, cold air. So to start off with, we do our tug-tutlo. That's what it's called. Is our 3 strike combinations moving forward and backwards. I will show these on the sideline for you so that you get a different perspective to some of the other dagwai and forms I've been doing. So for this, we go 1, 2, 3 forward, 2, 3, 4 back, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 8, 7, 9, 9, 10, 11, yeah, so on and so forth, all the way to 12. This starts to be where you get to see some of the moving forward and backward, advancing, retreating footwork as well at play. Cool. So without further ado, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8, 9, 8, 9, 10, 9, 10, 11, 10, 11, 12. So that is the tug-tutlo footwork, the 3 strike combinations. I'm now going to show you parties pasanod, which is breaking the tug-tutlo form, just for a moment. So this is where I will add the parties onto each other. So we're going to go 1 and 2, and then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth till we get to 11, all the way up to doing all 12 at once. This starts to build your efficiency and also test your memory at the beginning to see if you can remember all the strikes. So again, it's part of our big scenario. So from here, we go 1 and 2. I'm just going to do 2 reps of each, so it's nice and quick for you. 1, 2, 3, 4. again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One to 10. And again. And 1 to 12. And once more. So that is our parties, pass and note. That is the fast form where I'm just adding on. There is also another way to do it where you do each pair individually before you add them on. So now I'm going to show you Dagwai I. So we've had the L, which is a straight line. We've had the cross or the plus. And now I'm going to show you the I, which is a capital I. So it has a line at the bottom, straight line at the top. To make this a bit more interesting as well, I'm going to show you with what we call blah blah, which is where you are adding strikes in between each of the fundamental parties strikes. So to give an example, so what you can look for is after 1, I'm then going to add in 2 strikes before I go to 2. This is where it starts to be a tug-tutlo because it's got 3 strike combinations before we're moving on to the next strike. So I'm going to start back here. Oh, this is not rehearsed, by the way, this bit. Blah blah is free form. So you can come up with specific free form, but I am doing this on the spot. Enjoy. All right, so and 12 again. So that is my Dagwai I with Opensa. We're going to try it one more time with Dagwai I with Tripensa and blah blah. So as you can see, it's a bit freeform by that point. So that is my tug-tutlo part of that. We're going to do our Depensa level 3 now. So this is where, sorry, we're going to do Depensa level 2 first, which is where I have multiple, no, it is 3, sorry, it's 3. Depensa level 3, I have multiple counters. And then we're going to add in the level 4 within that, where I have a second feed. So Manunudlo Espada, Robert is going to join me for this one, aka Dad. So just level 3. We'll do level 3 for 2 of them, and then we'll do level 4 for 2 of them.
2 things.
Yeah. And then level 4. Depensa 2. 3. Defensa 4. Defensa 5. Defensa 6. Defensa 7. Defensa 8. Defensa 9. Defensa 10. Defensa 11.
Come on.
I'm showing some variations in the 3. Don't know if you guys can catch that. 12. Last one. When you miss it, hit it more times. A little. Cool. So we're almost at the end. We're going to bring out some Palambulak, our flowering strikes. You've seen me do a little bit of this in that last little section as our additional strikes, but here they are with their names and as fundamentals. So this is where the fighting combinations start to come out as well. Things that you can put together that both meet the principles of Estocadas, but also might feel really good for you to do, and they could be different to how someone else puts things together. So we're going to start off with wasiwas, which means to the tail of the dog wagging. So what it looks like is it comes in horizontal on the mid strike. Here we also use what's called kiwal, which is where we push the stick with part of our body, in this case, ready for the pigar as well. We then also have redondo. So redondo is to go round or to circle. So makes a circle, makes a circle. We're going to put those two together. So we have wasiwas, redondo. Is it redonda?
Yeah.
My apologies. Our next one is palpal, and palpal is to like peg, as in tent peg. So it's you're coming over the top. If you imagine a person is a tent peg, you're hitting them right on the crown of the head. This also works really great on hands. So rompepara comes over the top or over the top. With this one, we're going to add it onto our combination. So we're going to have palpal, wasiwas, redonda. So from here, we go palpal, wasiwas, redonda. Palpal, wasiwas, redonda. You can also vary the heights in this. So you can do the wasiwas quite low and the redondo up nice and high. Our last one is abanico. Abanico is the fanning strike. And this comes over our head and fans on either side. This one's a great one for use on the temples or the carotid. It's not always a massively powerful strike, but it can be quite shocking and it's very hard to block. So adding it on, we have palpal, wasiwas, abanico, redonda. Because I want it to rhyme.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Palpal, wasiwas, abanico, redonda. That's our basic palumbulak. So now I have some pangaway combinations. These are the fighting combinations, if you like. They've been put together by Bernas Estocadas. I think I've thrown one in there that's my own, but I didn't label it, so I can't tell you which. All right, so we're gonna start off with 3, 2, 1, redonda, 2, and that last 2 is gonna be tumbada, which means to hit to the ground, which is a stylistic affect of Elisi and longer stick work. So here we go. Moving forward and then moving backwards. 3, 2, 1, redonda, 2. Coming back. That's my first combination. The second one I will do is 3, 11, redonda, palpal, wasiwas. We now have 7, 8, 3, 4, redonda. And all these are designed as well to help you change heights and moving side to side. So 5, palpal, 4, 3, 11, 2. And lastly, redonda, wasiwas, abanico, redonda, wasiwas. Putting all the puzzle books together. So those are my pangaway combinations. That's kind of the end of the Baston curriculum for the grading, but I would like to show as a last little thing, the Alpensa de Panza with Espada y Daga for a bit of fun. Just 1 and 2. This is something we've been working on with Bernas in the last couple of months. When we have 2 weapons instead of a single saludo, we have both arms out. This is a bit of fun. Oh. Saludo, Grandmaster. Is there anything else you'd like to see?
Oh, okay. All right. That was quick.
I tried to talk as fast as Dad.
It's okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. May feedback ka? Okay na. Okay na ako. Doesn't have a feedback because he's the teacher. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, my only feedback here is number 1. It's not really crucial. It has something to do with pronunciation, like those things like baka. Yeah. That's actually baka. So if you say baka, okay. that would mean cow. That's not a
cow stance. Love it. I might need to put on some more weight for that.
But anyway, maybe we can send you the proper pronunciation. He will record it and send it to you.
Yeah.
But it's not really important. I think you were just nervous earlier when you were doing the 5 and 6 stance. You know, when you're doing 5, 6,
Yeah.
5, 6, because you weren't striking.
Yeah.
You were just doing the stances. But guys, you have to understand that beginners doesn't really need to know how to strike first. The most important is the stances first, right? So because we started with the striking and not the stance, sometimes it's difficult for us to just do the stance. But it's very important when you teach beginners.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think you should. Well, you know, if you have students, then you can practice doing the stance with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, another thing. In the tag-tatlo, okay. Yeah, you did really nice. You did the sequence nicely. I just want to say something about tag-tatlo. It's basically it's designed for practitioners um, to learn how to segment, segmentation of the strikes. So I know you're gonna go 1, 2, 3 forward, then 2, 3, 4 backwards, 3, 4, 5 forward, like that, right? But really, it's a segmentation of the strikes. Whether you're going forward with a 2, 3, 4, it doesn't matter, or if you go backwards. But it's basically designed for students to learn how to attack by threes.
By threes, yeah.
Or retreat, or withdraw while still striking. And the last one. I just noticed this, okay? And we've been talking about it earlier. Because Chris is very high, taller, sorry, not high, taller.
Yeah.
So when he strikes,
Yeah.
when he strikes, you're trying to reach the attack, and
Yeah.
so it results with you lifting up your heel, or
Yeah.
doing a quinto, something like that. Okay, so if you do that, if you get used to that, if you get into that habit, you will not have a very solid base. I mean, yeah, you can do that every now and then, but if you get into that habit, trying to chase the attack, it's okay to chase the attack, right? And get to it right away. But if you do it while you're lifting your whole body, your stance is very unstable. So you don't have a solid base. So yeah, we've discussed that, and if you try doing that with a taller person, wait for him to attack, so that when you block,
Yeah.
you're flat-footed at
Yeah.
least, or you have a solid base. So yeah, I guess those are just my feedback. Otherwise, you've been doing this for two years something.
Yes, yeah.
So I think it's really time for you to get certified. Yeah. So
Thank you.
now you three should be focusing on. Uh, you should be focusing on teaching your students from. It's up to you if how you want to segment the curriculum from Abecedario to Pangaway. Our goal, even in the campo, is to teach everybody how to become an instructor. And once you become an instructor, you start teaching them, not necessarily to become an instructor, but to really go through the journey of a student. My example, for example, and Sir William knows about this. Sir William is my master in Warangdo. I earned my black belt after 4 years. Master Bernas said that you can master Bernas Estocadas in 10 years. Okay, so it's number one, you have to mature in the system. Number two, if you really want to master the system, you have to put in years into it. Anyway, we're not in a rush. Unless you're running an international school that certifies a lot of people internationally. So yeah, you can go grab certificates here and there every week. But that's not who we are. All right. So yeah, I think pasado na ito.
Pwede ko makakaya.
Oh yeah. Sige, magsalita ka. Marinig ka naman dito.
Okay, hi. Anyway, I have a brief story about the system. Okay. Bernas Estocadas is was founded in 1982. So now we are already 2022. Okay, it means it is already 40 years existence of Bernas Estocadas. Okay, and then first time in the history of British Estocadas that there is a female who is um, being promoted into Manunudlo or instructor, which is big. You are you are very qualified, you know. And anyway, you are overqualified already because you have done your training for 2 years, maybe 2 years already. And then the system or the way of training of Bernas Estocadas is not just for the technicalities, but to to understand also the concept of the system. Okay, so you have to know how to teach, not just learning the system or the technical. You have also to teach to understand really what is the concept of the system. So I am very glad that the Australian people are really focused on their training for how many years already? 2 years already. And then I saw the very high progression of the of the level of the training. Okay, and then now for now, Bek is the third promoted Manunudlo in Australia. Okay, and I'm glad for that.
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations, Bek, because you are really very or overqualified in this system because you can now explain, you can move, of course you can teach. That is the way of Bernas Estocadas. Bernas Estocadas. Bernas way of fighting, of Bernas of way of FMA, Filipino Martial Arts. So this we are different. Bernas way is different from others because this is coming from Negros Occidental, okay? From Bacolod. Bacolod, Escalante, something like that. And then so now you are the first female being promoted as Manunudlo in my system. So congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Saludo.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining. Before I let Bek say something about the exam. Did you notice how good his English is now? He's not doing this anymore. Like what should I say? What should I say? He's not doing that anymore. And thanks to you guys, Australian group.
Influenced by the Australian people.
Yeah. You'll
So
have
that's
an Aussie
very
accent.
important. Yeah, otherwise it's very difficult to teach. So yeah, thank you. So I give the mic again to you, Bek. So say something.
Just thank you everyone for coming and supporting me. It's just really great to have so many international faces on here from both De Campo and just other people that are interested in Estocadas. It really is amazing to have met Grandmaster Bernas, and I look forward to progressing in his system and learning the other forms as part of it as well. And yes, hopefully you guys are all still training FMA and enjoyed the little demonstration that I gave, and maybe you can take some thoughts from it, or you can look up online. I believe we have an online system, or you contact Grandmaster Bernas. He's an amazing teacher, and as you just heard, he can speak English really great. And if you would like to, sneaky plug, my father's written a book with the Grandmaster and Paulo. It has everything I covered in picture and diagram. You might even get signed copies. Yeah. No, but honestly, it really is quite touching to be promoted to Manunudlo, and I'm very humbled today to be able to explain my thoughts and the style of Bernas's Estocadas. Yeah. Saludo.
All right, thank you guys. Have a great weekend. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah.
We will eat now.
Yeah.
The restaurant.
I did see the snacks. I was like, where's mine?
Thanks very much.
Okay,
Thank
bye.
you.
Thanks
Thanks,
everybody
Paulo.
for coming. Okay,
Thank
bye-bye.
you.